Alright guys, I found this sticker after I did this entire process, but check it out. Idle air screw is preset and sealed at factory. Provision for adjustment during tune-up is not provided. Do not attempt adjustment. So, don't do this, but if you really need to, I'm going to show you how. So here's instructions that I found online, and basically I'm just going to ignore all those first steps, which is not a good idea when you're doing a tune-up. You should do those first. So what we're going to do is just drive the coach and get it up to operating temperature, and then we're going to get started on the rest of the process. So here we go. Alright, after driving it for a little while, we have some temperature. That's about as high as it goes for my truck. And going back to the instructions, we need a little paper clip to bridge the gap on the A and B terminals. So the connector's just right down here. The A and B terminals are the top two on the right. So we're going to use our little paper clip and just bridge that gap. This is also a trick you can use for diagnosing your engine. This puts the car in diagnostics mode, so you can just then turn on the key and check the check engine light, and it should flash and stuff. But for this, you just need to leave it on but not running for at least 10 to 30 seconds, and that will reset the idle air control valve, which is right here. And then we're gonna go ahead and disconnect it with the car still on. And then we're gonna shut off the vehicle and pull out the connector. Should have already had this off, but we can go ahead and remove it now. Alright, and this is where I'm just gonna be guessing. I thought the engine sounded too low, so I'm gonna be adjusting it higher. Honestly, guys, this is just not the way to do anything. There's the plug that we need to pull. The screw is behind it. And I had a big pain trying to get this thing out. So I tried everything. I tried prying it out. Different tools. I tried hammering it out. You know, just something to get it loose. I tried drilling it out. A center punch. And more drilling. Breaking drill bits. They're crap drill bits anyway, but yeah, nothing worked. Then I found out that you had to take off this throttle thing on the side, and then you actually have to drill a hole in the side and then push it out from the back. So here I am doing just that, getting it started with a small bit and working my way up, eventually going in at an angle to try to, you know, get towards the front of the throttle body here. And this was a big pain as well. Not very pretty either, but you can see the screw back there. Eventually, I just got sick of it, and, well, we figured it out eventually. And there's a screw. It's a T25 Torx screw. Turning it right will increase the idle, and turning it left will decrease the idle. And there's the carnage I left behind, but it's behind this little throttle plate. And this took long enough that I lost heat in the engine, so I had to go drive it around again, and here we are back after it's warm. And I guess it's a good thing I filmed this because I was able to record how many turns I actually gave it so I could reset it. Spoiler alert, I have to reset it back to where I started so that the engine would run properly. And again, I'm just doing this by ear. I have no idea what I'm doing. It's a terrible idea. Don't do this. Alright, and then we need to plug in the IAC connector again. And then you're just supposed to run the engine for about 5 seconds. I ran it for about a minute. And then leave the engine off for about 30 seconds, and that should reset the IAC. So I did that a little bit wrong. I ran the engine for probably close to a minute or two at this step, but I've been waiting at least 30 seconds now. So I'm gonna start again. I'm gonna try no gas first, see what happens. Pretty rough. But it's settling. So I don't know if that's better or worse. It's probably something else I don't know how to do. Don't know how to do nothing. So I was just gonna take her out for a test drive, and when I put her into gear, she does all right, and she dies. Yeah, I don't know about this. Alright, and then this is me trying to reset everything back to where we started. So I'm doing the idle air control valve, and just in case you have to do this, if you go close to it, you can hear it. That little sound is the thing working. I don't know what it's called. So I didn't bother warming up the engine or anything. I am just resetting the screw here and the control valve as well. And I still have other issues with the car. It runs and idles better now, but it's still got something to figure out. Honestly, I can't believe I drove home over an hour because now I'm having issues getting it around the block. But stay tuned and we'll get her fixed up. Anyway, thanks for watching. Again, don't do this to your car unless you absolutely know what you're doing.